Yes, I know I should have made this video like a couple months ago now, but my 5th rank 3 is Penny Parker, and you probably already knew that. I think I did like a small reveal video for her or something, but never got around to making a full showcase, and this is going to be about a half-hour video on rank 3 Penny. Wish it was a bit longer. I didn't get any Alliance War gameplay like I was really hoping for. That's kind of why this took so long, because she's tactic, and I was hoping to get her assigned for war stuff, but it turns out you really need her to be duped for her to be useful, so that just never happened. But we do have some cool gameplay that you're going to see in this video, showcasing a bunch of cool things Penny can do, because I genuinely think she is a very cool champion. I probably just used the word cool like 5 times in the last 20 seconds, but bear with me on that. I'm not gonna say cool. She does nice stuff. She's not one of the best champions out there. She kind of is like Guardian, to where you're gonna ramp up some charges and then drop the SP2, and if the SP2 doesn't kill, then you're kind of out of luck, but she's not as good as Guardian at that, but she still does have pretty good damage. And I'm gonna show you some pretty nice damage showcases from a bunch of different bosses mainly. I don't have a lot of BG's gameplay, but I definitely have some. She's not a BG's nuke or anything, but she is pretty decent for some boss type health pulls. Which, yeah, you're going to see a bunch of that later. But we're going to start off against Realm of Legends Winter Soldier first. Just show off the basic Penny rotation, which I like to do by doing a double SP1, and then I want to relic into an SP2. If you don't know how to play Penny, you ramp up your charges by dropping your SP1 right when they're above a bar of power, and then you're going to power drain them below it, and if that special one made them cross the bar of power again, you're going to gain even more charges. So that's kind of how you want to ramp up your charges, just by trading bars of power with the opponent with your SP1, and then, yeah, you're going to drop a bunch of SP2 incinerates. After that, both incinerate burst damage on the actual special hits, and then like 8-second incinerates afterwards, and yeah, they hit very hard. And they definitely hit very hard. So next up, we're going to show her against Storm, just to see what it looks like with class advantage. And I might only go for 1 SP1 here. I genuinely don't remember. This was a while ago. But, yeah, you can just see I push her just above 1 bar of power. I drop my SP1, do the power drain. And then, okay, so I'm going to go for a double SP1 because I accidentally used charges to auto block, because apparently I couldn't dex there. And then I somehow finish a combo into her block. Anyway, we're just gonna drop an SP1 right when she crosses that bar real quick, and then we're gonna gain more charges, and then we just want to get to an SP2, and then the SP2 is going to drop the incinerates, and we're gonna have a great time. So I want to do the relic first, specifically because this Sentinel relic will place an incinerate vulnerability on the opponent, which does make her damage much better. So yeah, definitely run the Sentinel relic with her. Just basic things about Penny. The Sentinel relic is her best relic for me, and then your stat focus should be block proficiency. I feel like block proficiency is best on both sides. I tested a bunch of resistance type things for defense, and her shield goes down the slowest when you give her the block proficiency stat focus, so that's what I think you should run personally. But now we're going to do some BG's gameplay. We're going to start off against this Domino here. This was the Archaeos meta, so there is going to be a bit of like rich get richer power gain here, but it only speeds the fight up by a couple seconds. And then, yeah, against Domino, you just want to drop the SP1, hope she doesn't crit fail the power drain, and then you're going to drop an SP2. Because yes, crit failing the power drain is possible. Penny is one of the more mediocre Domino counters released recently, but she still gets the job done. She's going to fail a couple of the Incinerate procs sometimes, but then we get the full Incinerate damage, and it's going to finish her off pretty soon. And yeah, that's Domino in 51 seconds with pretty full health. So next up, we're going to fight Dust. Penny is my favorite Dust counter, just because she makes the fight relatively easy. You just do the drop SP1, drop SP2 thing, and then Dust dies. Of course, when you incinerate Dust, you lose sand on yourself, so that That definitely helps keep the sandstorm away. And then also, a really fun thing I like to do with Peni is a thing called Ricochet Intercepts, which you saw me do earlier. I get the opponent to block, I hit their block, and then dash back and light attack. And then it's just a way to intercept without having to, or I guess just a way to get an opening without wanting to block a hit, is what I should say. Because I don't necessarily want to block a hit because A, dust hits are sometimes non-contact, and B, I can get sand taken through my blocks, so that's a way I can get an opening without having to block. So it's very useful, and there goes that rank 3 dust in 48 seconds. Not bad at all. So next up, we're going to fight a Dr. Doom. There's not like a specific reason why Peni's really good for Dr. Doom. It's just a fight that I had, and she gets it done relatively fast. I guess the auto block is really nice for Doom sometimes because he's so punishing if you do get hit. And then you're also Incinerate immune with Peni, so eating the SP2, at least you won't take Incinerate damage, I guess. I'm probably just rambling on at that point, but yeah, there are definitely some things that make her decent against Doom. Also, her damage coming in only red numbers is nice because of how tanky Doom is with both crit resist and armor and block proficiency, so yeah, we're going to drop my SP2 in just a moment, after I get to it, after the relic, and then I think I'm going to bait a special attack because I was giving him too much power, or I can just go for it right there. That also works. And then, yeah, we don't take block pen because of the sync shield as well, which, I mean, it does make our sync shield go down faster, but the block damage itself is capped at least, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And then next up we're going to fight Destroyer, also in our Chaos, and Destroyer, kind of like Doom, you can fight both of them with most champions, but I'm just going to show you how Peni does it, just for fun, I guess. Also the Archaeos meta, so I am taking some Rupture damage because I have a buff, and then if Destroyer's duped, he does Rupture damage to you, so that's not fun, but at least in another meta, Peni doesn't really have any buffs, so that's actually something I'm going to talk about later, about how having no buffs on Peni is a pretty good thing sometimes. But anyway, I'm going to drop my special 2 right here. I don't know why I'm waiting this out. Just go for the relic, grass, and then drop, or okay, I don't even drop the relic. I should have dropped the relic. Whatever. I should have dropped the relic for sure. But it's okay. The Incinerate damage is going to finish him off. And then, yeah, there we go. And then we are going to fight a Mr. Sinister. Peni is a pretty good Mr. Sinister counter just because her damage is all in red numbers. And of course, you could get the Incinerates shot back at you with Sinister's SP1, but if you just anti-bait it well enough or push him to SP2 with your special 2, then that isn't a threat anymore. So yeah, we're going to ramp up Peni normally, go for an SP1 right there, and then I'm going to run to an SP2 as fast as I can. The heal block is also pretty nice if your Peni is duped, which mine is not, but it would have made the fight a bit easier. We blocked the SP2 just because I guess I didn't want to try to Dexter or something. But either way, I'm just waiting the concussion out for a second, and then I'm going to try to bait a special attack from him, and then he doesn't feel like throwing it, so I ended up just pushing him to SP2. Which is going to concussion me again, so I need to wait a second. And then you're going to see something very funny happen. I go for a special intercept, and apparently his recovery time is just way faster than my special attack launching time. So he blocks it. If he didn't block it, he would have been dead, which is great. So just take my word for it when I say Peni is good for Sinister, because obviously I can't show you that when I drop an SP2 into his block, but yeah, she does it pretty well. Anyway, we dropped the Incinerate damage, and you can see it completely wiped him out. I just wish that could have happened when I dropped it earlier, you know. So, anyway, next up we're moving to a side quest boss that I'm taking with Peni, obviously, and it's against this Weapon X. You saw the nodes there. But I think you want to be like poison immune or something, and then stun immunity is there, which is a little annoying. But Peni is pretty good for Weapon X just because there's nothing stopping you from fighting him. Anyway, that's not really a reason, I get it. But also, you just kind of do normal stuff with Peni, and then because all your numbers are in red, he's not going to be healing a lot back, and then you just kind of finish him off. Obviously, if my Peni was duped, again, heal block comes in clutch there. She's just not, which is unfortunate, because, yeah, she'd be a lot better for Weapon X if she was duped. But I also don't really need it. Like, I could definitely take out a rank 3 Weapon X and one SP2, one SP1, one SP2 rotation in BGs, so not necessarily true, but there we go. Weapon X goes down, and yeah, there was plenty of damage there. So next up, we're going to fight Labyrinth of Legends Old Man Logan, just so you get an idea of what she looks like for the larger health pools. This is 1.5 million, so this is a little bit more than most of your like Summer of Suffering bosses are going to look like. I believe those are like 1.2, 1.3 million health, so this is a little bit more than that. So you get to see what her damage looks like in an ideal scenario, and then you're going to see some of those actual bosses, because I do fight quite a few Summer of Suffering, Spring of Sorrow type things that you're going to see next. So we're just going to do the regular rotation, double SP1, SP2, or I guess that's not necessarily the regular rotation because I just showed you a bunch of only one SP1 rotations, and then, yeah, I had to drop the relic there because I needed to push him to 2 bars, so I just mismanaged power a bit, so the relic came out a bit earlier than I wanted. But anyway, this is, I guess you could say, the longer Peni fight rotation where you double SP1, because, yeah, you saw me do a bunch of single SP1s. Anyway, those incinerates are doing, what, 18,000 damage per tick? I can barely see it. But that's 23 incinerates, and yeah, they hit very hard. So, anyway, another SP1 there, and then we're going to drop one more SP1, and then an SP2, and then Weapon X, or Old Man Logan, is going to die. So, yeah, not much to say, because obviously there's no nodes on this guy, but again, we'll be fighting more interesting bosses soon. And then there's the power burn, which is pretty nice. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room to get to your special 2 faster without having to bait as much. And then you can also use the power burn to make their bars of power go up and down between 1 and 2 or 2 and 3, just to gain some extra sync shield charges. So I dropped the relic there to place the incinerate vulnerability, but it caused me to lose some charges, so it wasn't actually worth it. Because, yeah, he's going to be left at like 2% after this, and then if I didn't do the relic, then he would have been dead. But either way, we're just going to climb back up to another SP2, and then like only 3 charges is going to be enough, because he's at 1% health, obviously. So there we go. That's Old Man Logan in Labyrinth of Legends. Looks like I didn't even take any damage that fight, which is fun because the sync shield is great. Anyway, next up we're fighting Summer of Suffering Destroyer. This is one of those kind of more like skill-based fights, so I'm not going to say like Peni is just a really good counter for this, but also she is going to be nice for the Toad also in Summer of Suffering, so she's going to be a decent option for the Gauntlet, assuming that Destroyer and Toad are on the same path. So yeah, basically we're just going to dex his special 1s a lot, and then dex the SP2s a lot, basically just dex his specials, and then try to bait his heavy attacks if we can, and counter them, and then just do the regular rotation with double SP1, SP2. So, yeah, pretty simple. Drop the SP1 there, gonna power burn Destroyer, and then I want to get an opening, which I can get right there, or not, but right there, actually. And then I just need to get to an SP2, which I can do right after Destroyer drops his SP1 there, and then we're going to Relic into the SP2, and then do some really nice damage after that. So each of these hits are doing 20k in burst damage, and then 14k in burst damage incinerates after that. Yeah, his health pool is just going down very, very fast now. And then we just want to replicate that rotation once more, and then one more SP1 into SP2 rotation. So we're also going to see how long I can go before Destroyer starts his power gain, because obviously we don't want that. But her spacing after her SP1 seems to be really nice, to where once he drops the SP1, like after I knocked him down, I'm like right there to do the dexes. So that's a nice little benefit, I guess. And then yeah, drop the SP1, dex the SP2, and I'm going to go for my SP2 real quick. I don't have the relic ready, but that's okay. It's still going to do some pretty nice damage even without. So yeah, we're going to see it's going to do 17k in burst damage. So I believe those charges were both 21 when I dropped the SP2. I could be wrong, but so that you can see like a bit of the difference right there. That SP2 was 17k in burst damage on each of the hits, and then the other one was 21k when I had the relic or something, or close to 21. It was probably like just over 20k. So yeah, the relic definitely makes a difference. My Sentinel relic is rank 2 6-star, so if you have a rank 3 Sentinel relic as a 6-star, that would be even crazier for her. I don't know if anyone actually has that. I also don't even know if people have like more than one rank 3 6-star relic. I know for sure I don't, because literally ever since Act 8, 100%, they've given us no opportunity to rank 3 relics, unless it was through some like monetary stuff that I didn't even realize. And then I just wanted to charge the heavy to finish the fight with style points. It's just something weird I like to do, where I just, if I'm using a damage over time champ and I know they're gonna die, I just like charge my heavy attack and let it whiff. But anyway, we're gonna fight this infamous Toad boss that everyone hates, and I agree, I hate it as well. But we're gonna see Peni do it. It took me a few attempts because this guy's AI is literally trash. I don't know, man. Like, if his AI was coded normally, this fight would be great, but it's not for some reason. Because I don't think there's any way that his AI could possibly be like this and it wasn't intentional. Eat a heavy attack there, which is awesome, but it's okay. We're still gonna be fine. And then, yeah, I dropped my SP1 with, you know, not pushing him over a bar like I'd want to. So we're gonna end up doing another 2 SP1s, I think. I think so, at least. And then, yeah, I do the Ricochet Intercept a lot, because if I know he's not gonna throw his special attack, then I can just get an intercept like that when he's above a bar of power. So that's a little stupid, but, like, it works, I guess. And then he's still, like, so passive to where he doesn't even go for the Ricochet Intercept sometimes, which usually they do. So I don't know, man. Usually, like, if you do that, the AI either dashes at you or throws their special. But either way, we're just trying to get to my SP2 now, and just trying to get openings. He's just so passive, man. Like, it's not even with just special attacks. Like, he's just passive in general. And then I dropped the SP2 with only 16 charges, so a bit less than I'd have liked, but whatever. He drops the SP2, so that's going to get rid of his prowess, which is cool. And then I don't think I actually meant to dash in there, but it's alright. So now he's at 51%. So I know if I can line up my double SP1, SP2 rotation, then he's going to go down. I really need to come up with like a name for that rotation. So that I don't keep saying double SP1, double SP2. I mean, just SP2, because it's just so annoying to say. Maybe I'll just call it the Peni rotation, and then the Peni BG's rotation is the other one. I don't heckin' know, but either way, we're gonna do the Peni rotation and get this Toad to drop special attacks, ideally. I've gotten pretty good at the inverted controls management, which is cool. And then I had to drop that SP1 because I was like, well, I'm going to get pushed to 2 bars before he gets pushed to a bar, so I guess I just need to throw that. A little annoying, but it's okay. We just need to throw one more SP1, ideally when we're ready for it. And then just, like, I'm trying to get openings, dude, and he just doesn't want to do anything. It's so freaking annoying, but either way. Now we bait an SP1. Whenever he decides to throw it, we're absolutely gaming, because we're gonna drop a monstrous SP2 after that. The funny thing is the whole when he decides to throw it part, because it took a little bit of time, as you can see. But I'm gonna go for an SP1 here. We're gonna have the power burn, giving us a little bit of insurance to get to an SP2 without having to bait a special attack as like earlier. So yeah, the power burn definitely helped out there. Drop the relic, and then we're going to drop the SP2. 23 charges, and the burst damage is just completely insane. 21k per tick incinerates. going through that regen, and yeah, he is dead. So there we go. That is Peni versus Summer of Suffering Toad. Definitely like how she performed for that fight. I just wish the AI was a bit more decent, you could say. Next up, we're fighting Bishop in Eternity of Pain. And so you don't really want to use Peni for Bishop in most scenarios because of the fact that you don't want to incinerate Bishop. You just don't want to do it. But Peni also can do damage through Power Burn. So the way we're going to do that is by going for SP3s. And that's going to place a really chunky Power Burn. Zero idea why I dropped an SP1 there. That was stupid. But we're going to go for a Power Burn from the SP3, which is going to do, decent damage. It's nothing, like, great. What the heck am I doing? Why am I double SP1ing? Oh, okay, so what I wanted to do was just spam Power Burn with the SP1 instead of the SP3, and then I realized, oh wait, Hurt Locker is there. So I'm not going to do that. So now I'm going to go for actual SP3s, after I Power Burn them here for a bit. And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure I use SP3s from here on out. At least I should be doing that. But Peni is also Incinerate immune, and obviously can block the SP special attacks from Bishop without taking a lot of damage from it, so it definitely helps the safety of this fight, you could say. And then the SP3 also gives me more Sync Shield, so yeah, there I'm at 150 Sync Shield. I block a large portion of the SP3 and only lose like less than 50, so now we're doing Power Burn damage. It's not like great, but this fight's a lot about safety, like just seeing how safe she is for these fights, and then more than anything else, I should say. So yeah, we're going for an SP3 now, and then do some Power Burn damage after that, and then yeah, just keep repeating that cycle and having a good time with it, making sure that Meltdown is under control, because that is one of the main threats of this fight, other than just Bishop himself being annoying. But yeah, the Power Burn is pretty long. It does a little bit less damage than the special 1 Power Burn, but that's because it has an extra duration. So yeah, we can just keep hitting him because he can't reach 3 bars when he's getting Power Burn constantly. And then yeah, there's another Power Burn, so he just can't get to a special 3, which is pretty great. Like, her power control is not like crazy or anything, but there's a lot of scenarios where she's just really good at not letting the opponent drop an SP3, and that's sometimes just really important. So yeah, now we're gonna drop an SP3 again, and then we're gonna Power Burn him once again. Make sure to get rid of Meltdown, drop it, and then the Power Burn damage is gonna chip him down, of course. So just keep 5-hit comboing him, and then I'm gonna go for like an SP1 or something. I'm triggering the Incinerate immunity, which is giving him stun immunity, but it's not that big a deal or anything. So go for the Relic, and then I'm going to drop an SP1 there, more Power Burn damage, and yeah, he just dies like that. So there we go. Not a crazy matchup, but it's a safe matchup, so that was the point of showing you that. So this fight, this is what is it? Spring of Sorrow Iron Fist, and I'm speeding this up. The reason I'm showing you this is because Peni is a champion who does not need buffs or debuffs really to do her thing, which I think is really cool. Obviously, you're losing the Incinerate damage from just the actual burst, and then another SP2 thrown to block. Like, I don't know. Her special 2 is wacky. But yeah, you're losing Incinerate damage from the actual taking Incinerates, but what you aren't losing is the damage from the burst on hit. So this isn't an ideal matchup at all. I'm not going to try and tell you it is, but I do think it's cool that she doesn't need buffs at all to do anything, and she doesn't necessarily need debuffs to do her thing. That's the only reason you're seeing this fight, because, again, she's not, like, great for it. She just kind of works, and that's also why it's sped up, because it does take some time. I'm not gonna deny that, but we can make it work, and that's just something Peni is really good at sometimes. So, drop an SP2 here, do some nice burst damage, and then we just keep repeating that cycle until Iron Fist goes down. This is like a 3.5 minute fight, so definitely not fast, but gets the job done. And yeah, again, I've just been saying that same thing. She just gets the job done. Anyway, drop an SP2 here, and then it does some nice burst damage, 19k on all of those hits, without the Incinerates afterwards. Of course, it's still pretty decent. Drop an SP1 into his block just because my heavy attack whiffed, so I was like, oh no. But anyway, he throws his SP1, I throw my SP2, do more burst damage, and just keep repeating the cycle. Drop another SP2. I don't think I meant to do that. I wanted to do an SP1, but it's alright. Just try to manage pressure gauge a good bit too. That's another thing I gotta worry about. And then he's gonna die pretty shortly. So, block a bit, drop another SP1, get to an SP2, and then relic into a heavy, and then that's gonna finish the job. So, there we go. That Iron Fist goes down. Another boss that Peni just works for. And then another boss that Peni just works for is this Sauron boss in 9.1.3, I believe. So, yeah, I'm just reading the notes here because I generally didn't remember what they were getting ready for it. And then we're going to go in and just do the Peni rotation because it does a lot of damage, and then the Sauron's going to die pretty soon. So, Sauron, another character who regens a lot from like hit damage, kind of like Weapon X, so just having a bunch of red numbers is really good. Obviously a lot of techs are really good at that, so I'm not gonna like try to tell you Peni is a better Sauron counter than a lot of other techs out there, but she's good at it, so still something, you know. Again, Peni isn't like a tech that you should rank over a lot of tech champions just because she's good. She's also a decent defender if like you can ban around her, which I do often. But she's not like crazy on either side of the playing field. If you can ban around her in VGs, she's actually a menace, but that's a big if because Hulkling exists, Gallon exists, stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. She, if you can't get like a Cosmic Champion or someone who can just blow up her block, she's gonna be a rough time to fight, and that's from someone who's placed a lot of rank 3 Penis on defense. Like I'm telling you, she is a decent defender if you can make her work. It's just the making her work part that you have to worry about. So now I'm just trying to bait the Sauron special attacks. He doesn't really feel like throwing it. Still doesn't feel like throwing it. Still doesn't feel like throwing it. And then he throws it. So now I want to do the SP1 into an SP2. I believe I only go for one SP1, one SP2 here. We'll see what I do. I don't remember. But Dex the special attacks, and then we'll be fine. So yeah, Peni, I think her strong suit in this game is boss killing. Because I think she's a decent BG's attacker. She just doesn't counter a lot of the meta defenders. Obviously, because of like Nimrod's pure existence, they kind of had to design tech champions to stock against Onslaught, and Peni definitely fell into that scenario, which is unfortunate. But yeah, she's not good for Serpent, Maestro, obviously. She's not good for Bullseye. She's just not good for a lot of the meta defenders, unfortunately. But she's decent still. Good for Domino, and just a really fun attacker overall. And then, again, good boss killer. That's what she's mainly good for. Over like BG stuff. So next up, we're going to fight Gauntlet, Dr. Doom. And I'm running the Falcon synergy here, which is an interesting synergy. It just means that if my Sync Shield is active, I'm stun immune. So the way we can use that is, like, if we get shocked versus Doom, if he charges his heavy, then we don't get stunned. So that's really awesome. Like there, exactly right there. I showed you what I was trying to show you about the synergy. She does have very interesting synergies. Like, I'm not gonna lie. The Falcon one, obviously pretty cool. She has one that like makes Airwalker like extremely good for like the 5 Airwalker fans out there. And then she has one with Infamous Iron Man that I really like. That makes it to where if Peni is fighting a Incinerate immune, she places Shocks, and if Idoom is fighting a Shock immune, he places Incinerates. Really nice synergy for both champions. I actually love that one. It was one that we were interested in for like Alliance War stuff, but again, because of my Peni kind of needing the dupe to be used this tactic, it just didn't work out, and I was taking Idoom solo, unfortunately. If I can like dupe Peni, I will probably get some war assignments for her next season. Not this season because it's almost over, but if I can like dupe Peni in like the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, then yeah, maybe I'll have some cool war stuff. Only time will tell. But either way, this Gauntlet Doom is almost dead, and then we're gonna only have one more fight after that. So we drop the relic here, Incinerate vulnerability placed, and then we go for an SP2. Burst damage is going to finish him off. And then, also, I forgot, like, the whole thing where the big node for that fight is size matters, and Penny's an XL champion, so she doesn't get glanced. And then, yeah, the last fight is going to be against Old Man Logan in the Crucible. I sped this one up a little bit, not much to talk about. It's just arrogance is really annoying because Penny's SP2 is 11 hits, if I remember correctly, so you're always going to trigger arrogance on the SP2. But she still does the fight, so yeah, it goes in the video at that point. That's how showcase videos work for me. If they do the fight, they make it in the showcase. But yeah, I'm going to start wrapping up the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I really do apologize for how long this one took. Someone commented recently, like, can you just start doing more showcase videos? And I like making showcase videos too. It's just they take a lot of time, and sometimes I'm just like, there's this really cool thing that could be upcoming that I want to have in the showcase before I make it, like Penny and Alliance War, and then it just doesn't work out, so I just waste a lot of time. So, annoying when that happens. That's kind of why this one took so long. But I will be working on more rank 3 showcases, because as of now I have 9 rank 3s, and this is the 5th one. My 6th rank 3 is Killmonger, and because of the fact that I only care about him for defense, he's not going to get a showcase video. So we're going to jump to my 7th and 8th, which is, spoiler alert, Dust and Morbius. So look out for those videos, hopefully coming soon. And if you liked this one, hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.